We'll start on Samak Gimel. So he says that the 10 akyas that are stuck in the throat. Now, he has this metaphor or this way of talking where he says that you're talking about an akya, but you're talking about the akya in a revuah form. So he says the pashut is 21 and the revuah is 44. So now he starts talking about the. I really want to hear more about the revuah, but maybe it's the same thing. I'm not sure. Shehem begematria communion redu, which is 210, 10 times 21. So he said the 2 galus was a total of 210 years. So redu shama kamosha amr chazal, like the rabbis of the drasha on this. So he said v'sod gadol galus mitzrayim. Sorry. So the asara pamim akya. So the secret of the 10 times of akya. Shehem levusha chasadim v'gavuros, which is the levusha of the sadim and the gavuros. Rak heim nishara bedas the zeranpen. Okay, now that's my understanding. So he says the zeranpen. V'chasadim v'gavuros imalchem atzmam. He says shehem shemos havaya nistalkum b'menu. Because okay, v'techein choyach agalos communion the sara pamim. So that the galus therefore has to do with the leaving of these 10 akyas, the 10 avayas. So that causes a severe galus. So he says havaya v'nistalkum b'menu, and they left it. They leave it. V'techein choyach agalos communion the sara pamim akyas. So therefore, that's the reason why it's left as an akya, shehem masayim v'asa, which is 210. 10. Okay, so again, he made a switch into back to the pashut. So and to tell us that what happened here was that you had an akya, even though we're talking about you're talking about an akya which is as a lavush, and then you have the histalkos of the mochim, and then what happens? So you're left with just the akyas. So he counts it up as redu. So that's a side idea. So let's say v'tama davaru kihine eser shemu shal akya b'milui miluyim. If you take the milui and the milui of them, yesh b'kol milui mehem sod milui hamilui, which is zak osios, 27 letters kanoda. Now he's going to spell it out for us. So this is number 27. Now, where do we get 27 came into this conversation? So he said v'hine b'kol shem yesh pashut umale demole. A pashut yesh bo arba osios kazeh, and then he says umale yesh bo asara osios like this, and he says milui yesham b'shem ekyach guvanu shakol os shel milui Hashem malim oso ba'atzma. So he explains this out for those of us who don't know this. V'chofen shall milui hamilui. So the way that the milui were shall Hashem ekya yesh bo hamen. He said, figure out the pasha, the milui, and the milui. You're going to find out you're going to have 27 letters over here, and then he shows you all of them here. Count them up. He says, this he says is 1, 2, 3. He says, I read that wrong. He says just in the milui itself is a number 27. So he said, Hine eser pamim zach. So 10 times 27 will be gematria air. It's a gematria air. So R. Or let's see what he says. Ve'elu anitzutzus shall carry ha'adam arishon some raw. They made themselves into raw. So first he goes 10 times 27, which is a number of letters in the milui. And in order to really understand this for me, I'd have to understand the power of the milui, because he didn't take the pasha and the mole. He just took the milui. So I don't know what advantage that is, but that's the way the Rav says it. So he says, carry the Adam Rishon, which is bad, raw, which is the same thing as 10 times 2 is 27. But so he air raw. So there you have the word 2 words. You have it twice. Asara pamim kaz osios, the 10 times 27 letters shall milui shall shem ekya olav mizbar raw. So that's what you got. Raw romez al chet hotzah zer levatala kamosha is boil la'el, as we said before. Sheba begamazeh pogam b'shem ekya, you make a hazeh of a nitzutzas akeri shall Adam Arishon hoyu bechinas raw hazer. That's the raw that we're talking about here. That's that air, which is the 10 times the 27, which is the significance of the milui times 10 in each one of them. Now, as he's saying something, I'm trying to figure out why we switched over here to this topic. I was still back over there with the dam that was in the throat. Now he went over here and he told me this because I'm missing the idea of the power of the milui, and why he chose that. But he did. Let's go with Shanos Misbar Galus Mitzrayim. So the years of the count of the Galus Mitzrayim to Luyim B'Shem Ekye, it all really has to do in some way with some aspect of the name Ekye. Shechah B'Sara Acharayim Shalo Hem Kamizbar Redu. That if you take the 10 backside of just again, once again, you're talking about it should be logically to me it should be 44 times 10. But he's not saying that. He says, Atzma, Shalochem, Misbar Redu, Shanik and Niskar. B'nei Yisrael Shohoi B'Mitzrayim, Hoyitzrikin the Saken as Chet Adam Arishon, Shebapagam Bekari, Hanikra Raw. Okay, we said that. The Shebagam, Shepagam B'Shem Eki, because he made a pagam in the name itself, Keniskar, let's say Keniskar. L'chein Hoyitzrichim, L'chiyos B'Mitzrayim, Masayim Ve'ezer Shanim, Harumanir Mazim B'Shem Redu, which is a recognition of that. So he says that the reason why it doesn't say 10 times 44 is because the Pagam actually goes right straight to the root, which is the 21. So he said that Shvichus Ervatola, they had to do with that number, but then you're comparing it to the milui, which is a part, though, of the name Akia. That's the place that it affects, apparently. Ma mehe ha'olam Messiah ve'eser. So he says, Redu Shama ha'olach Messiah ve'eser, which comes to the number 210. Messiah ve'eser Shanim, who could they the sakin as shame Akis, to make a tikkun in that name of Akia, Shabo Pagam Adam Arishon L'chutzal Zelavatala. Let's see if I can sneak it in. He says one more. Amna Moshe Rabbeinu Olav Shalom B'Macha Chasneh Shehu Be'inyan Galus Mitzrayim Hoyachoshev. He was Hoyachoshev. Ki this was something really important. Ki Keben Sheyisrael Sheba'ozach B'Docha B'Garmo Al Histalkos Adas Elyon, that caused that. Shehem Eser Vayas Chamishach Chosad V'Chamishach Gavuros. Im came Hemshech Shnei Galusa. So that the Hemshech of the Shane Galus of the years were the Yehiach Mizbach Osarach Avayas Asher Nistalko Ba'ona V'Avonam Shehem B'Gematria Reish Samach. And we'll get to that the next year. Thank you for learning with me today.